Hi, thank you. It's great to be back, Thinking Digital. And that's my name, in case you know how to spell it. And I've been coding for, I think, 30 years now. Always been fascinated by the things you can do with code. You can basically create anything inside a computer. But also being very interested in design. So always been jumping between design and code. And particularly with 3D design. Because when I started working with 3D, it was great because it was just, instead of just working on a flat surface, even if the screen is just flat, it was that immersion of being able to look around, to get inside things, what really attracted me. And after that, after working in games, PlayStation games, I moved into the web, which I thought was fascinating because that ability of doing something and then everybody can see it. Everybody could just click on a link and then poof, they were looking at something I did that was magic. Before then, I was like working on games that people would have to buy the game, put it into the machine, see it on the TV. They have to play the game for a while until they got to a point where they were able to see what I was working on. Instead, with the web, it was like magic. So with all that background, we end up doing web, 3D, everything put together. We've been running our little studio in Brighton, which is called Hello Enjoy, and we basically do 3D for the web and for apps as well. And before I get too complicated trying to describe, I think you could see our 90-second show reel. Cool. So that's basically what we do. That's all browser-based. And there's a few projects there. There's some client work. There's some internal work that we do just for fun. This is a project I showed the last time I was here. We were just releasing it. And it looks a little bit like this. It was like a bit of a Formula One demo that we did using a technology that was new at the time. And it was called WebGL. WebGL is a technology that allows to do 3D natively inside the browser without any plugins. The history of 3D in the browser has been going with specialized plugins, then using Flash. But now these days, in the plugin-free world that we live in, the only way forward is native, basically. So WebGL allows us to do 3D inside the browser natively. Taking WebGL and at the same time using HTML5, we are able to create one single experience that can be enjoyed all across multiple devices. Well, at least that's the theory. But that's what really attracts us. Instead of being locked into one device, being able to do something and everybody can enjoy it in different formats, which we think is really, really nice idea. It still needs a bit of development, but I think we are getting there. The work we did with HelloRacer became very popular and was being used by the engineers developing the web browsers on Google, Mozilla, Opera, and Microsoft. And basically, we started to see the piece that we were doing being featured when they released the WebGL implementations. We got into a point in which we received an email from Samsung in Korea from the engineers. They were working on a WebGL implementation, and they also wanted to have a few different features. So they commissioned us to create like a sequel to HelloRacer, which is called Racer S, like for the Samsung name. And it looks a little bit like this. I won't put the sound here because it's very loud, but it's supposed to have like 3D sound, and it has like Doppler effect, so when the car comes closer, you can get the pitch distorted. And again, it was very popular. The guys at Samsung really liked it. It was a very good project for us because they basically gave us free rein. We could do whatever we wanted as long as we implemented their features. And it was nice because it was the first project that was designed for mobile. They were working on the first WebGL implementation for mobile. At the time, we did have no WebGL on mobile, so for us it was difficult technically. But being able to have the same experience inside the mobile browser was something amazing for us, because at the time it was like when you see something on the mobile, something that has a bit of experience, and you see on the mobile browser, you had to go to the desktop computer to see it. So the ability of delivering that content, not just to desktop, but also to mobile, was amazing for us. And also, WebGL allows us to give the same features, more or less, that you expect on a native app, but inside the browser. This is something that is very important for some people, for some parties, not for other parties, but it also has another side effect, which is called the web apps. Web apps are basically HTML apps or apps made in HTML, which are basically universal. The same web app can be run on any device. This is great for many people. Google is actually encouraging it for Google Chrome, for the Chromebooks, and also for Android. BlackBerry with BlackBerry 10 and Windows Phone are also jumping here. And even for Amazon with Kindle, they really like the idea of being able to access apps that are not specifically for their platform. That eliminates the idea of having an app store. People can just click and then go directly to the content. The only ones that are not in the party yet are these guys here. And this is something that apparently yesterday they released the schedule for WWDC in June, in 2 weeks, and there is a WebGL session there. So there are rumors now that iOS 8 might include support for WebGL. And when that happens, that will make a big difference, because even when we work with clients, everybody wants our content to run on the iPad. That's like the obsession. So basically for us, it's great that if we are able to get our content inside the iPad and inside any platform without having do a special version for each one. Another project that we really enjoy working on and open a big possibility for us is based on music, because music also is a very tricky market. The music business is going through it's difficult to put it in nice words, but they're not enjoying the best of times. They were upset with the download business, and now they are going to the streaming business, which is even worse. So, and even with on mobile, they were able to deliver, when they wanted to do something nice, interactive, like Bjork or Radiohead have done, they do standalone apps, which normally you will need a huge fan base to download the apps, because people are not going to download an app for someone that they don't know really. So that's a bit of chicken egg situation. And the ability of delivering that content on a web browser is great, because people can just click and see the music or the interactive music without actually downloading an app. We did this piece for Interscope, for Ellie Goulding, and it was well received, and it was also great that people could actually spend time with the music instead of leaving the music on the background. It was great that people can actually enjoy the music at the same time they were doing something that was related to the music instead of just reading or doing something or running or doing something else. And that started us thinking about how to visualize music, how to make music a part of our work much more than it was before. Also, another project that is important for us is also in the games business. I've been working on games for many years, but we didn't have a game recently because we were doing a lot of game-like projects, but not really games themselves. So early last year, we went through a, let's say, not difficult, but quite a particular time. We were starting basically 2 projects simultaneously. This is the first project. It's the hardest work any project has given us. And the other project is this one. We did it while we were on parental leave because we thought I basically wanted to take time to see how could we adjust to the situation, and also to do something that all these things you always want to do, never have time, so I thought it was ideal to do a little project for that. We did a little game, which is called HelloRun, and it's a very simple game. It goes with the music as well. The whole thing is synchronized with the music, and it just goes up and down all the time. And the idea here was to deliver an experience that pushed what you could do on the browser more than anything that had been done before. So it was like really an R&D project for me. We could sit down and think, what could we really do with this? Also, it was great to be able to use all the knowledge that we had from the project with Samsung, so we could actually make it run on mobile. So it was basically the first WebGL game running on mobile. And it was brilliant because we could deliver something that was using all the new HTML5 features. It could go full screen. It could use touch screen as well as mouse and keyboard. It could use gamepad. You could use a gamepad on the computer and it recognizes the gamepad. We worked with Google on this one. They actually show us how to do it. And it even uses lip motion. So you could actually, if you have a lip motion controller, which is a little box that basically sees your hand, you could actually move it with your hand like that on thin air. And it's great the way it works. And so we basically put all the technology there. It was a bit of a technology showcase for us. But also we wanted to do something that was fun to play, not just a technology demo, something that people will actually enjoy playing. And initially it wasn't that fun, but we spent some time, more time than we thought we were going to spend with it. And we ended up having something that was quite fun. And it was very well received, especially by very young people. That's something that we didn't expect to be like that, but especially them are so, the feedback that they have is so amazing because they are not shy to go into YouTube or to speak their word. We had feedback like this. Oh, doesn't have volume.
It's a game that's pretty popular in my school, and I think it was meant to be a troll, like literally. I think it was meant, like it was made to be a troll. But anyways, so
we have hours of this, so we can. It's great because we can sit down and watch when we have time. We put these videos and we see what people actually think, and they play the game, and they actually say what they feel, and you can see their faces because they have the cameras and they're playing, and you see their faces while they're playing. So for us, it's amazing because we can actually enjoy. It's great to see them playing your game, but also we can get feedback on the way they play, the things they like, the things they don't like. So that's amazing for us, and we think that generation of people, the next generation of people, are very important. We think that they are different from us. We think that they have this being, we think actually they actually think digital more than we do, because they are born with that. They are born with iPads, they are born with the internet. That's natural for them. I think for us it's been difficult because we were born with books and with TV. And for us it's been like a big jump into going into like computers and internet and even 3D. And I think there's a limit where we can go. But I think that the next generation of people, they are able to go farther than we do. There are devices now like this, which we believe that they are the next thing, the next big thing right now. There is a concept which I wanted to talk a little bit, which is called presence. And that's like the hottest concept in virtual reality right now, which is basically when you feel you are somewhere else. That's when you hack your brain, basically, and your brain thinks, or your brain feels that it's somewhere else, and you still know that you're not there, but you feel it. You can feel vertigo, you can feel the distance of things, you can feel you are in a complete different space. And when you take the headset away, suddenly it's like when you wake up, it's like, whoa, where am I now? It's a bit like switching from different universes. And I think this is going to be huge, and as you probably know, Facebook also thinks the same, and Sony also jumping on this one. But I'm not sure we are going to be able to exploit the whole possibilities of this. I think it's the next generation. These guys are on YouTube now. They are going to be jumping into this. It's these people that have been doing this since they were really, really young. And for us, the challenge now is not doing experiences as we were doing before. That's what we call the work we do. They are experiences. I think what we'll be doing now is to build worlds. Because when you are in virtual reality, you're just not building something in front of you. You're building a little world where people can look around, can go to different places. It's not just a single view. It's like complete free. And we think that for us, that might be, like, I think for everybody here, it might be a bit too much. It might be like spending hours here feels a bit too much. Even for myself, I tried and I spent a few minutes and then you just want to go back to the real world. But there's a generation that's living here now. And we think they are the ones that are going to be enjoying this a lot. Thank you.